So we've just come back from our holiday and we have found that we've got some mould on the floor down here where water has been coming in. Taking back insulation, like I can see it's definitely coming out of there. So we're gonna have to rip all this out, try and fix the issue, find out where it's coming from, and then do all this again. Like I think it's just coming from literally the top of the door. It must be getting in somehow, and I don't actually know what we do about that because it's like there's no way water can get through like the panel here, so it's nothing to do with this, so it's got to be coming in from up there, but I don't know what to do.
I think the first thing we'd have to do is just clean that mould up off that floor. That needs to be managed ASAP. So we're gonna go and Google how to get that done. And then, I don't know, maybe Google issues with the door seal? What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dripping. Alright, let's go get that done. What do you reckon? Found anything?
No, they're just saying about how people's doors don't shut properly, but ours seems to shut properly. But what I am thinking, it might just be to do with how we've done the insulation, like kind of overlapping, like underneath it. That could be it. Something real simple. I think we're just maybe.
So what, you just reckon you need to get a Stanley knife and just trim the top? Because it might not be closing 100%.
Yeah, I think we're just stopping the seal.
Right, okay.
It's worth a try.
Yeah, let's get that done.
As you can see, the vapour barrier is right in the way. So when we close it, it's like an inch over the sill. So I think we just need to get rid of that, to be honest.
Amateurs.
Cut it down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And hopefully it will be fine.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna take the whole lot off because it's wet now, so we don't really want to use this piece. I'll cut another piece. Maybe I'll just leave it for a minute, make sure that is the issue. Leave it a few days and see until it rains. And then start again.
Then we can check after.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all that is that rain or condensation or something?
I think it is rain. Yeah.
As we've said before, we are complete amateurs when it comes to this. So we are learning as we go along, and then hopefully you don't make the mistakes that we make.
So I've just got some hot soapy water to clean up the mould. So I'm just gonna clean it up with this and then leave it to dry. And then once it's dried, I looked online and it says the best thing to use is white vinegar. So I've put some white vinegar into a spray bottle. I'm gonna soak it all over the top and then leave it for 15 minutes, and then that should keep it away. So I lifted up the floor because there was also some mould underneath. So I've cleaned it off of both sides. It was like in the corner here. And then at the other piece that went along here, I've cleaned that up either side as well. So now that I've washed the mould off, I'm going to spray it with the white vinegar. It says to soak it, so I'm going to soak it and then leave it for 15 minutes. So in the meantime, whilst waiting for that to dry and get rid of the mould, I've just been cutting out the insulating board to fit on the door. So I've cut 2 of these to fit on there nicely, and also had bits left over, so I've packed those out with the little bits to use them up, and then I've been cutting the bits for the ceiling, so they're all in line here for what's going where. And the next thing to do is use the all-purpose adhesive to stick them on.
Right, so it's been a couple of days, and fortunately all that mould is cleared up, which is good. So yeah, we're gonna work and finish off the insulation. I think we're gonna start on the roof as well. So yeah, let's go.
So we took the bubble foil off from underneath the seal because we were having that issue where the water was coming through, and I've just fit it into the lip that goes around the top here, and then we're just going to tape around the edge.
So to stick this insulating board to the door, we're going to use the same like all-purpose adhesive spray that we've been using this entire time. So it'll just be a case of putting it on, propping it up to the door, and then doing the same for that. And then again, we'll put some of the bubble foil over the top to act as that vapor barrier and insulation layer. And then we're going to go around all the edges with some foil tape just to seal everything off. And then we should be good to start moving on to the roof.
As you can see, we've finished insulating the doors. So we've put the Kingspan insulating board inside the gaps, and then we've added the bubble foil on the outside, taped it round so there's no gaps in it, and that's our door.
So now we're about to put the insulation on the roof. We've just had a trip to B&Q and Screwfix to find some insulation pins or insulation hangers, which are basically, it's a metal plate with a self-adhesive and a sort of a spike that you can put on a roof, and then you put the insulation to that, and then there's a bit that you can like bend so the insulation stays in place. But we couldn't find any, so instead we've got some of the that sticks like sheer adhesive that we're just going to use to prop the insulation up, and then that'll glue. And then we also needed to get this anyway because we need to now also, the last job we're going to do today is fix down the battens of the floor. So obviously we don't want to put it down, have the battens down, and then for us to be continuing to walk on it, so that's going to be the last job we're going to do. Might need to ask the camera woman to help me hold it in place. So we're just holding up the insulation just while the glue dries. I'm tall enough where I can just stand here with my head, but that's just got to lift her arms up. But yeah, van life. And we've said it before, but so we're not insulating this bit because this is where we need to cut a hole for the fan. So that'll be once we've done the insulation and we've planned the electrics. That'll be a job for them. But now all of that needs to come up because we're gonna fix it down, and we've also bought a vapor barrier that's gonna sit underneath it all. So yeah, I'll do a quick time lapse. Let's go. Alright, pliers up, and now we're just taking up the insulation, and then we can see which bits, you know, the wood rests on, and then we can just stick all that down. So that's what we're gonna do now.
So now all the wooden battens are stuck down. We've got this vapor barrier to put over the top. So we're going to place this on and tape it all around the edges, all around the bottom here, just so everything's sealed and no water can get in. Like a giant bin bag.
We're going to tape it all up the top there and all around here at the right side of the van, and then once we flatten it out we'll trim around here on the left and at the bottom here, and then boom, tape it all up. You alright?
Yeah.
Getting all up in there.
So we've just put the vapor barrier down. We've run out of tape, so at the moment we've just left the edges, so we need to go get some tape to tape it all down. But yeah.
So yeah, you can see all that needs trimming, and then once it is trimmed we'll get a bit of tape and then we'll seal it all off around the edges. Obviously that bottom bit there needs trimming, and then for the floor we need to pick out a lino. So we've decided that we're going to go with a lino because we like to get in the water a lot and we feel like we're going to be outdoors and we're going to get quite muddy and wet, etc. It's just going to be like the easiest thing to clean. We'll have maybe like a bit of carpet or a rug or something, but yeah, for the actual floor itself we're going to go with a lino.
So now that the vapor barrier is in place, I'm just fixing down the wooden floorboards, just screwing them in So how we cut them, we made sure that the wooden battens were like, each floorboard was overlapping so that we got something to screw it into.
That's going in, by the way.
So, folks.
Alright, so thanks for watching our van build series so far. Hope you like it. If you did, like it, tell us about it in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, next steps. So floor's down. We need to buy a couple more screws because we need to bolt it. We've only done it in the corners so far, and we need to do it all along the floor. So we need to do that. We also need to find a lino that we both like to then fix into place. We need to cut a hole into the roof here and install the fan. And we need to work out our electrical system. So we've already ordered two 100 watt panels. That comes with its control unit, control box, all the wires, the fixings, like an aluminium thing to fix to the roof of the van. What do you call it? An aluminium. What do you call it?
I don't know.
Just to fix the solar panels in place. A rack, just like an aluminium rack, I guess. So yeah, so then once that's done, and then we can foil up the roof, and then yeah, we can start cladding, which I'm really looking forward to actually, because I feel like once you've started cladding it, that's when you can see it like really come together, and you can start thinking about like stains, and then start thinking more about how we're gonna plan out the van, how we're gonna map it out. So we know roughly that the kitchen's gonna be the front of the van here, and then this window is gonna be, we're gonna board that up and have a little window, a viewing window in between where the driver's seats are and the back here. We're gonna have a unit that goes along here. So yeah, so our kitchen's gonna be there with a fridge, etc. What's going on here?
We're having seating here and here.
Tash knows better. You explain. I kind of know, but you're probably best to explain.
And then we're going to have a fixed bed at the back here, and it's going to have a pull-out table from underneath. So when we're at the seats, we've got a pull-out table. We're going to have some cupboards. Haven't exactly decided where, but like along the top somewhere.
Yeah, so we're not having a shower, but we will have a compostable toilet that we can just like take in and out as and when. Anyway, one step at a time. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.